Something about you seems different. I can't quite figure it out.
Oh, lordy, 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 lord. So, the Little Mermaid trailer came out recently, and, well, this is the character Scuttle, who looks like they have done so many drugs. And this is what the original Scuttle looks like. They were a male seagull, and now they are a female diving bird. Ah, Disney, why do you do this? Why?
She got legs, you idiot!
Oh no. So the new trailer for The Little Mermaid came out and it ain't looking too good. The side characters are just, wow. Like, I get it, but look what they have done to Flounder. Oh, like he is just a fish. He is accurate. Good job. True, but oh no, what have they done? Like I do get it. We're trying to do like live action, but why does this stupid image look better? It's because of a simple thing. Live action doesn't work for some characters. And yeah, after seeing this, it really got me thinking about live action characters. And while there's some that work for me, like Lyle, Pikachu, Psyduck, and Bulbasaur in the Detective Pikachu movie, Scooby-Doo, I think looks perfectly fine in live action. There's just some characters that really don't work. Or at least Disney and others really don't try to even make a live action version. They just make them the animal, or in Scudder's case, change the animal, and that's not a good solution. We grew up with these characters looking a certain way, and when we see them a different way, it's heartbreakingly weird, especially when they're just so ugly to look at. Like a good example is The Little Mermaid. Like, I'd love to see a pudgy seagull character flying about. They have been like a staple in kids' movies for years, and once 3D animation took over, those characters just kind of disappeared. And now they changed the bird who looks like he's on crack, and we are supposed to be okay with that? No, of course not. And then to me, Sebastian is a character that could only ever work if he looks exactly like he does. But Disney wanted to go the realistic route. But here's the biggest problem with the whole idea of live action and all that. Like, it's been discussed before with this whole idea of live action Disney stuff. There is a huge problem, especially within The Little Mermaid. Because what is realistic about a mermaid? Like, not only that, like you can gladly argue if mermaids are real or not. You can absolutely do that. I like to believe in some way that they are real. And I'm not just talking about manatees, I'm talking about freaky, weird fish people. Because I love to believe in that kind of stuff. Like, the world would be so boring if aliens and like UFOs and Bigfoot and the Loch Ness and all that didn't exist. The world would be so boring. I love those kind of mysteries. I like to believe there's some kind of realness to it all. But then, yeah, you can believe mermaids are a thing. But then you also have Ursula, an octopus person. Now that's ridiculous. That's 100% fantasy. I've never heard stories of an octopus kind of person. Maybe sure in fictional kind of stories or whatever. But mermaids have been kind of reported on by pirates and all that kind of stuff. They are like a legit kind of thing. Well, yeah, an octopus person. No, not really. So the idea of them trying to make something realistic when they have Ursula, it doesn't work. That's not realistic, Disney. Unless you know something we don't, then, well, let us know. So the entire idea of it being a live-action version just, doesn't work when that's clearly not a live-action-y thing. So you can't use that excuse for laziness, as that's what it feels like when they just don't make the characters look like the characters. Like, no one asked for Sebastian to just look like a crab. We want Sebastian to look like Sebastian. That's your version of him. That's your take on, like, this kind of character and all that. And if someone else wants to make a Little Mermaid and have, like, a crab character who is just a crab, they can. But you made Sebastian and chose not to, like, use that design for the live-action version, which then, yeah, sure, the question is, would it even really work? Like, probably not. Like, Flounder being just a fish, which, yeah, accurate, but now he just looks stupid. Like, this is not a character kids are going to care about. Like, my god, could you imagine a live action version of Little Nemo? It wouldn't work at all. Like, you cannot sell toys or merch of Flounder from this movie. No one will want to have just a fish that doesn't have any kind of personality, has no real look to them, has no style. It's just going to be a fish toy, a fish plushie, and so on and so forth. It just won't work. It's just crab. It's not Sebastian, it's crab. It doesn't work. You can't market it. There's a reason why animation is amazing. It can bring these animals into a whole new dimension in ways that are memorable and just so fun. The crackhead bird doesn't look fun. Unless it's actually a crackhead bird. Then hells yeah, I'm absolutely down for that movie. If a whole movie was just this crackhead bird flying around thinking that people were like fish people kind of thing, that would be kinda amazing. That would be a wonderful little twist on the story. Like I did mention, Scooby-Doo, and that to me is a good example of a live-action version, because I think that's a key word there, is version. Because yeah, you can have like the character look exactly the same, or you can have the character look slightly different, but it still needs to be the same character. Sebastian the Crab, like in terms of it being a crab, just doesn't work because it doesn't look like the character. That crab could be just anyone. That doesn't look like Sebastian. While Scooby-Doo in the live-action version still looks like Scooby-Doo. Like it's not simply a Great Dane, which could then just be Marmaduke or something like that. I think Marmaduke is a Great Dane or something like that. I think or Marley and Me or something. I don't know, but there's one of them is a Great Dane anyway. Like, Scooby-Doo is a realistically done, animated, cartoony version of the character. While it looks different, it still looks good, because it's not just simply a Great Dane. Because obviously Scooby has a lot of expressions. He talks and so on. So you just can't have a dog looking at you, Lion King remake. You need to make it cartoony, you know? You need to make it a kind of cartoony animated character. You can't just have crab. Which is why Lion King remake would have at least been a better watch if the characters looked like the characters that were still in this kind of live action setting. But no, let's make them look so boring and just with no emotion because we didn't bother to actually do research to find out the faces lions can actually make. I also mentioned Pokemon for Detective Pikachu, and I do think some work, like Psyduck, I think just looks utterly adorable. And I do love how Bulbasaur looks. Bulbasaur, is one of my favorite Pokemon. I got all the little cards over here and all that, and I got like little statues of Bulbasaur's big Build-A-Bear plush of Bulbasaur. He is definitely my favorite starter, and probably one of my favorite, probably just my favorite Pokemon really. And Pikachu, I didn't mind the whole fluffiness to him. Like, when it comes to making them realistic, because I'm pretty sure they got an artist who did realistic-looking Pokemon, but he made them weirdly realistic, you know? There's realistic, and then there's just weird realistic that a lot of artists try to do, and it just doesn't look right. And especially with Pokemon, like, they shouldn't be realistic-looking. Just a live-action, cartoony version like Scooby-Doo. That's when it could work. When you try to make them realistic, you don't make a realistic-looking thing. It's just weird. Like, Gengar and Jigglypuff have weird big eyes, and it works in cartoon form, but definitely not in a live-action sense. Not to mention just how human those eyes are. They really mess those up. they didn't make animal eyes, they just made human looking eyes, and it's just weird. It doesn't work. So the question is, could it work? Well, a good example of this is the Ninja Turtles. Obviously, the live action suits are so iconic. Absolutely iconic. They look amazing. But then you go to Michael Bay Turtles, and they look awful. Awful, awful, awful. Besides maybe Donnie, but that's because his glasses hides his face. Also the pads. Why pads? Alright, well, it's because Michael Bay, being from a porn star industry, started off there, he gave them dicks. He absolutely did. How do I know that? Because there's the entire joke in the second movie, where Bebop and Rocksteady, when they first transform, the first thing they do is check their dicks. That's the first thing they do. And so, yeah, he thought about that. And so the reason why the Turtles have pads is because their dicks are flopping about everywhere. And so it's like, yeah, I'm just going to cover them up with pads. And it's like, he thought about that. He thought about that. He thought about turtle dicks. I mean, same, but still, it's such a weird decision to make. It's such a weird choice, and it's absolutely because of that. So basically, it needs to be done in a particular way. Don't make them ugly. That way. It just needs to be done in particular ways, or just, make the characters we know look like the characters. Like the 90s Turtles movies look like the 80s Turtles that we all grew up on. That's what made it so good and so easy to watch, because the characters look like the characters. But Hollywood these days just keep trying to change things, and change is fine, but you need to just not. No, change is fine, but if you're gonna do that, then just make your own thing, make your own characters and all that kind of stuff. Like, example, those making Sonic the Hedgehog learned that very well. They tried doing something. What exactly? Who knows? I don't even think they knew. And they got so much backlash and did the smart thing and made the Sonic we now know and love. The only changes they did was make his eyes apart, which I honestly actually prefer. I actually like that design. I actually don't... Like, after watching the movies, I don't actually really like Game Sonic anymore. I prefer the eyes apart, honestly. I know that's kind of iconic for Sonic and all that, but I don't know. Maybe because I feel like they just need to update the model, basically, and stop giving him the shorter spikes on the back. He needs the longer quills, that's the word. He needs the longer quills. I need to just update his design a little bit, I think. But yeah, I actually prefer movie Sonic, and then I just gave him blue arms as well, and I don't mind it. But yeah, that's it. That's all they did. He is still essentially Sonic. Which, yeah, does kind of make me very upset, as I would love to know what they would do with Tails and Knuckles. And now Shadow in the next movie, like... I want to know. I want to know what they would have looked like. No, I'm glad we got a change, but my god. And then, of course, I've got to mention it as well, you got your anime movies, which don't really work, as the costumes just don't work. They always look so cheap and just kind of weird. The hairstyles as well also don't work. That's kind of all obvious, but I thought I'll still mention it, because, they do live-action movies and all that as well. And that's kind of why live action just kind of needs to stop. They need to go a different way about it. Like, the money that goes into live action should go into making an amazing animated movie. That'll keep us a lot more happy than Hollywood will ever understand. Like, the biggest movie ever made, Avatar and Avatar 2, they are generally animated movies. Let's not, we have, live action characters here and there, but especially the second movie is generally just an animated CGI movie. And yeah, just Hollywood just does not understand that animation is good. Come on. We love animation. Because yeah, there's more live action stuff coming, like there's apparently a Robin Hood Fox version, live action coming, which I do like Little John in the Pinocchio movie. So if they kind of just made him look like that, I think it'll be pretty good. I do think he was a bit too animated, but I think it could work. And then, of course, we got the live-action Lilo and Stitch, which I talked about, and that's extremely worrying. Like, I don't think Stitch is a character that could work in live-action, because there is generally characters that just don't work in live-action, and so the idea of them trying to make live-action versions is just like, I don't know if it could work. But I am looking forward to seeing what Disney does there. Either way, it'll kind of make great content, I guess. And then there's a live-action How to Train Your Dragon on the way, and I do think Toothless can work, if they make him just look like Toothless. I think that can work, because I showed that like, they did like a live action version of like made like a show kind of thing, and they made a live action model and all that, and I think he looks great. I would love that kind of version. Like, I would be happy with that if they added just, you know, just a little bit to him, but it still looked like Toothless. It's got to be interesting, that's for sure. Obviously, then Hiccup. What's Hiccup going to be like in live action? It's not just the dragon, it's the characters as well. But yeah, how much will they screw that up in the end? Either way, we don't need it. We got the animated versions. We don't need a live action version. Like, just make another dragon movie that's different, you know? Just do that. Make a live action How to Train a Dragon within the universe. You don't have to make it be Toothless and Hiccup. You could just make it in the universe. And if it works, it works, but at least you didn't, or if it doesn't work, like movie fails and all that, at least then you didn't ruin Hiccup and Toothless in some kind of way. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. What characters do you think work in live action? And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now. They just make them the animal, or in Scudder's case, change the animal, and that's not a good solution. Oh, shit. Totally didn't spill my drink at all. Nope. I just nudged it, and a lot of it spilled out, but it's fine. It's fine. They look amazing. But maybe Donnie... What?